this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Happy Goodwitch. And Happy Goodwitch has a name that is particularly well suited to their question, which is, do I believe in the law of attraction? And the law of attraction is the idea that like attracts like, and I very much do believe in it, yes. And we use this in magic all the time. It's called sympathetic magic, that something can stand for something else because they are like, and like will attract like. If we want to attract money, we can burn a green candle or carry a green stone, such as a malachite, as an example. And I believe very much in this principle, but usually I think today if people are going to use the phrase law of attraction, what they mean is that people draw to them what they already are, or where their mind already is. And I believe this too. That's why shadow work is so important. In magic, you don't always draw what you consciously think. You draw what is in your soul. And so doing shadow work to address those things you may not see consciously is very, very important. And this ultimately is that idea of the law of attraction, that what's already there is going to influence what you're able to draw. If you do not believe you can have the job that you want, no amount of magic is ever going to bring it to you. If you do not believe you can have a good loving relationship, no amount of magic will be able to bring it to you. If you are terribly afraid that if you are involved in a relationship you would be betrayed, well, you're likely to manifest it. Therefore, it's very important to do shadow work, to look at your unconscious beliefs and feelings and address them so you're not crossing yourself up all the time. And most people, particularly those who are not on a magical path or who are not doing shadow work at least, are crossing themselves up much of the time. And this is not as simple as paying attention to the words you use. Words have nothing to do with it. It has to do with belief and intent. And again, not necessarily what you consciously believe, but what you really believe inside. And there are many different ways to address this. We've talked about it in a number of vlogs, including a recent vlog with a question from Bill Storm. And the techniques can be quite simple, but they require looking inside yourself and seeing what's really there and working with that. And if you don't do this, all the magic in the world will not necessarily help you, because if you are trying to do something you don't believe you can do, you're not going to be able to do it. Or if you're trying to do something you don't really want to do, you're not going to be able to do it. As an example, a lot of people try to do magic to win the lottery. And I've known a few who actually were successful in this in one way or another, but most people have all kinds of subconscious blocks against this, not the least of which is they believe if they were to win a substantial amount of money, they'd be taken advantage of by many people, or that it would bring them unhappiness, or just plain that they can't possibly do such a thing. And of course, when you have these subconscious beliefs, your conscious efforts aren't going to be successful. This is true of anything in life. And so examining those subconscious beliefs is very, very important. This is what we call shadow work. It's working with the things that are not in the light where you can see them. And it doesn't mean that they're bad, it just means you can't see them. You have to look for them, you have to examine yourself. And magic truly is a path of self-examination, and if you're not treating it as a path of self-examination, you really want to be careful, because again, what you really believe and what you think you believe aren't always the same things, and they can trip you up, sometimes quite badly. And I know a lot of people who portray magic as a terribly dangerous path, and if you're treating it as a path of self-examination, it really ought not to be. But if you're not, well, there are dangers, but they're mostly inside you. And if you are treating it as a path of self-examination, you'll have to face those things. But in facing them, you can overcome them. And whether you're aware of them or not, they're still operating in your life. So, do I believe in the law of attraction? Absolutely. Do I believe it mostly works unconsciously? Absolutely. Do I believe you can make it work consciously? Well, that's what magic is all about. That's all magic is about. Because the truth is we do magic in every moment we're alive. When we study magic, we're merely learning to do it consciously. Magic is all around us in every moment of existence. But practicing magic in a conscious way is another matter. So, the idea of like attracts like is really very important in terms of what you can or cannot do magically or otherwise. So, I not only believe in it, but I think it's kind of vital to understand and work with. So those would be my thoughts on the matter. I hope you find them helpful, and until next time, may you blessed be. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you for Pagans Tonight Radio. Pagans Tonight Radio is an online radio network with different hosts and different shows 7 nights a week. There's something for every taste, including Spanish language programming on Saturday evening. Check out paganstonight.com today.